This is your writer, Anthony L. Kelly, right here. Check it out. These are my books. Mac, Ja book, Sunshine. And this is my first book published, Saving Miss Caroline. And this is my latest, El Manic. Go check this book out, man. This is a nod at hip-hop on its 50th anniversary. This is a nod to one of the illest MCs to ever do it, Nasir Jones. This is me shedding the light on mental illness. I'll leave all the links in the description box. Salute to everybody who's ever supported me, man. Y'all go support your boy, Anthony L. Kelly. Check till next time.
For sure. We also feature the Reverend Congressman Dr. Adam Clayton Powell.
Yeah.
With Giancarlo Esposito playing the role. You know, Giancarlo ain't no joke. The brother can really act. You know, I mean, he's something special.
Absolutely appreciate that. Appreciate you, Professor Small, and Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Don't got too many more questions. Not gonna hold you too long. Definitely appreciate your time and your knowledge. Last conversation we had with you, we talked extensively about Kanye West and what he was currently going through. We've seen recently that Adidas, stuck on a lot of his inventory, are now going to sell it and give proceeds to not only the Jewish community, but communities affected internationally by the hate speech that Kanye West exhibited during that time, so which they assume. But they didn't say anything about the black culture, which he obviously offended too. Maybe not all of us, but according to some of us, he was offensive by what he said. What do you think about that overall? What Adidas stance is currently?
First of all, I don't think Kanye did any hate speech. First, let's get to that.
Neither do we.
Okay. No one says Jewish people is doing hate speech when they criticize the people who wrongfully created the Holocaust. So how is it that we are doing hate speech when we deal with the people who did our Holocaust? Or some of the people who participated in our Holocaust?
Yes, sir.
Not all Jews participated in our Holocaust, but a significant amount of their leadership for centuries did. Not all Irish or Scots or Anglo-Saxons participated in our Holocaust, but a significant numbers did for centuries. And unlike other genocide, which happened in a 3-year period or a 10-year period, our genocide was carried on for centuries. So nobody can say, oh, I didn't know what was going on. It was intergenerational. And all white religions and ethnic nations fully participated and profited from the genocide that they dared to call the transatlantic slavery or chattel slavery. Centuries long genocide that made you very wealthy. The very companies that will continue the genocide in the music industry, in the movie industry, in the news industry, in the television industry. How dare you take a few lines from Kanye and try to play with our minds? Who do you think you are? We read. Be grateful that we're not a vengeful people. Be grateful.
Yeah.
That we are not a vengeful people.
I was we had I don't know if you know Harry.
The other thing I wanted to say about that, I
Yes,
heard
sir.
that they want to give money from the sale of these sneakers to certain people. That's fine. and then have them split the money as reparations for their role in the transatlantic slave trade and the
Right.
enslavement genocide of African people, then I'm cool with it.
Right. Indeed.
That's all.
I don't know if you know Harry, Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. We had him on a few months, maybe 5 months ago. We asked him about, the transatlantic slave trade and Jewish participation. And he said that he feels like that we should go to the families that actually did the enslaving to get them to pay reparations. That all Jewish people are pretty much not responsible for it. How you feel
No,
about that?
but nearly all Jewish people, like all white people, profited from it. So then denounce those then who were responsible for it. Tell us who they are. But
Yes,
you've
sir.
done so because the literature on slavery that pulls the cover of that element of the Jewish community that was involved was all written by Jewish scholars.
Yep.
So you've already pulled the cover off of it.
Yep.
It was like the attack on Leonard Jeffries. He got attacked for quoting Jewish scholarship and Jewish writings on elements of the Jewish community's involvement in the genocide called chattel slavery. Remember, chattel slavery was not a work program. It was a centuries-long genocide for the sake of making money and garnering wealth.
Absolutely.
So let's not play with what you did. It wasn't a work program that we signed up for. It was genocide. And you made money.
Yeah.
And you built wealth. And let's come back to Kanye just for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a veteran of the U.S. Navy.
Okay.
With an honorable discharge. We in the Navy understood the term DEFCON. He did not say death. He said DEFCON.
Yes, he did.
And there was 3 levels. There's DEFCON 1, DEFCON 2, and DEFCON 3. And it means prepare for being attacked by your enemy. With 3 being the highest level of preparedness and entering a posture of defensiveness. The media knew what he said, and then they decide to lie to the American people for the sake of ratings and sensationalism, not caring who they destroyed or what conflict they created between our 2 people. We know there are Jewish people who died in our movement defending Black people. But we're not about being anti-Jewish.
Right.
There were Jewish people who fought on the side of the North in the Civil War, and there were Jewish people who fought on the side of the South in the Civil War. There were Irish people who fought on the side of the North in the Civil War, and there were Irish people who fought on the side of the South in the Civil War. This is just history. Stop trying to treat Black people like we are stupid. We are clear on who our enemies are and have been. That's why you do not want to teach our history in schools. That's why you are anti-Black studies and Africana studies in the school system, because the truth of the behavior of certain elements of all European populations will be told.
Powerful.
We have brothers who are white. I will die for them because they will die for me. And I have enemies who are white, as I do have enemies who are black. So let's stop playing the throw the stone game and let's tell the historical truth so the youngsters can better understand how to build good relationships across ethnic and racial and religious lines. But it profits some people to keep the division among the American people.
I want to transition just a little bit into sports and talk about the young man Ja Morant, superstar of the Memphis Grizzlies, who's obviously out here influenced by some very negative things. And I'm not saying that having a gun and owning a gun is negative, because I encourage that for him to be able to protect himself. It's how he's using it and how he's kind of portraying it, which is, I believe personally, is wrong. But what do you think about the media's portrayal of Ja Morant, young 23-year-old man, superstar? And how do you perceive that situation?
Like you, I think we have a right to own weapons for self-defense. But I also know that the negative socialization process in this country, as we can see in the 200 plus mass shooting just in the year of 23, is very dangerous for the well-being of the nation. And this young man is no less influenced by the negative socialization than any young man or woman in the society. And if you're going to own a weapon, then you should own it responsibly.
Yes.
I actually recommend, and this is the one thing I like about the state of Israel, every American male and female child, when graduating from high school, should do 2 years of military service. And I guarantee you, the relationship to weapons and the responsibility for how it is used would be cut by 90%. You look at those nations around the world where the youth have to do national service, involved, participating in its armed forces, and you do not see in those countries the murders, the mass killings, the suicide by weapons that we see in America.
Wow.
It is because people learn how to be responsible human beings when it comes to utilizing and being involved with firearms. And the values you put on human life when you learn a certain level of responsibility.
Sir.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah.
Professor Small on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We definitely appreciate your time, your wealth of knowledge, as always.
Yes, sir.
Definitely learned something. We're speaking to you and definitely appreciate it. Let the people know where they can find you. Let the people know where they can continue to follow your wisdom and information. And like I said, again, appreciate your time.
Professor Small, AfricanWorld.com, and just put in James.313.com. Well, Professor Small, African World, you can find any and all things about me or www.professorjamessmall.com.
Appreciate you. Once again, we definitely appreciate you. All your knowledge and
appreciate you, young brothers.
Yes, sir.
The world belongs to you. Lead it in the most ethical and the most principled and moral way possible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Continue to do the job. Professor James Small on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you.